is one of the world's leading forensic pathologists. He's the host of HBO's Autopsy series, one of my favorite shows. His latest book is Dead Reckoning, The New Science of Catching Killers. Please welcome Dr. Michael Baden. I started watching this show when it first came on. If anyone's seen Autopsy on HBO, it's just riveting. These are real stories about murders, and you explain how the person was caught using forensics.
That's right. And in the past 8 or 9 years we've been doing this, the forensic sciences have increased dramatically.
Right.
Hairs and fibers and DNA have all come in the past 10 years to really help in murder investigation.
Now, one of the things that you always see in like a movie that's supposed to, I guess, be funny or something is they always show the pathologist, they always show the coroner, like eating and drinking coffee right next to the chopped up body. Is that something that really happens? Do you get that sort of dulled to having a dead body in front of you?
It's not dulled. The culture shock of seeing a dead body in an autopsy room is the odors more than the sights.
Right.
So initially, when you first go to the autopsy room, detectives especially, they'll be offended by the odors. But
right.
After about a week, it sort of burns out the olfactory nerves. You don't notice the odors.
So people really are in there like eating a sloppy Joe while they're watching an autopsy.
Well, mostly donuts. Donuts are very big. Coffee and donuts in the autopsy room.
Right. Now, do you get, and you do get, I mean, I don't know how to say it, you get used to, you know, here's a headless, torso-less body with like 50 arrows through, and you go, okay, let's get to work. You don't recoil.
Well, not really, because it's the act of dying that's so upsetting. When I worked at Bellevue Hospital treating cancer victims, the dying process is terrible.
Right.
But when we see the bodies, the person's dead, and
they're gone.
And we're trying to learn from the body to bring some closure or help to the family, and to learn what can help society, how to prevent auto accident deaths, how to prevent suicides. We learn that from the dead body. So,
as dark a subject as it is, I'm sure there is morgue humor. There are jokes that pathologists tell each other. Like, is there a funny morgue story that you have for us?
In New York City, the classic morgue humor joke had to do with the first chief medical examiner in New York City, a fellow named Charles Norris, who was about your height but chubbier than you, very aristocratic. And he'd go around dictating to his stenographer. And
when he would examine the body and just dictate his notes.
And one body comes out, and I don't know if I can say this on your show, but he had a pecker that went down over his thigh down to the top of the autopsy table.
He had a large member.
A large a member. That's right.
Yes.
And so when he finished dictating, the stenographer says, "How come you didn't mention anything about his penis?" And he said, "Why? I have one like that." He said, "You have one as long as that?" He said, "No, I have one as dead as that."
You're killing, Doc!
The problem with morgue humor, in no way do we ever want to be disrespectful to the dead body.
Right.
But it does break some of the tension that it's a kind of very sober place, the autopsy room.
I can imagine. Now, I've noticed there's a theme in autopsy that I've noticed that a lot of doctors, you know, have wives that meet with an untimely death, and then it always turns out that it was the doctor that did it because he knew of the special way to kill somebody. Is that fairly true?
This show does have a few doctors who thought they can get away with getting rid of their spouses.
Right.
When a wife dies, the husband's always the first suspect in general. Right. But when I first became a medical examiner, went to medical examiner conferences, and they'd have all these different scientists from around the world, I noticed that among forensic pathologists, everybody else, the wives would outlive the husbands.
Right.
Psychiatrists, lawyers. But among forensic pathologists, they all had their second wives. They all outlived the first wife.
Right.
And it was explained to me that this was professional courtesy.
Like no one asks
Nobody
questions.
asked any questions.
You're allowed one.
Dies,
okay. How's your first wife?
I'd rather not talk about that.
Okay. Your show benefited greatly by being on after The Sopranos for a while. Is that right?
Yes.
And so a lot of people would watch The Sopranos, didn't know about your show, saw it suddenly, and hey, this is great.
Yes.
Well, you'd like to be a guest on The Sopranos, is that true?
Your information is correct. It's truly, the highlight of my career would be doing an autopsy on Big Pussy.
Right, right.
For those, for one person in the audience who may not have seen The Sopranos, Big Pussy was shot and dumped in a lake.
Right.
At some time,
in the ocean, yeah.
At some time, the body should come to the surface as gases form.
Yes.
Even a year or two from now, and you do an autopsy, and this is what we do all the time. You find the bullets, you can track the bullet back to the gun, you can solve the whole case.
So that would be a great plot turn for The Sopranos if they started, if the body showed up, you playing the pathologist, me as your assistant, Kip.
That would be great.
Show up. Before we go, I want to ask you about this. You personally have done over 20,000 autopsies. I imagine you've seen every tattoo in the world, every kind of tattoo. What's the weirdest tattoo you ever saw?
Weirdest tattoo I ever saw was your name. Hmm? Your name was tattooed on somebody's penis.
The words your name.
Yeah. He was an alcoholic, died of alcoholism. But in tracking down why that tattoo was there, he was... we learned that he was very poor, he didn't have much money, he was an alcoholic. You can't make this up. He'd go into a bar and he'd bet the guy at the bar that he has his name tattooed, I have your name tattooed on my penis, and that's how he got beers. You can't make that up.
Wow.
But we're going to have...
I'm getting a tattoo this weekend. Well, Dead Reckoning, the book is available now. Autopsy 8, which I saw last night, which is amazing. Dead Giveaway premieres Sunday night at 10 on HBO with a live chat immediately following on HBO.com. If you haven't seen the show, check it out. It's really riveting. Dr. Michael Baden, thank you very much. Really nice job. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. That was good. Stay right there.